Hello there, Chef D Malfi here, and welcome back to Plant-Based Made Easy. Today I'm going to be making with you smoky jackfruit tacos. If you've never used jackfruit before, this is the episode for you. So tune in, stick around, and watch how quick it is for me to make a delicious dinner that is super flavor-filled and is totally plant-based, and you won't even know it. So let's get right into it. I'm going to tell you that this recipe comes straight out of cookbook number 10, you guys. This is the cookbook we're working out of this month. I'm so excited for this new cookbook. And if you didn't know, I want to tell you that you can get this cookbook one of two ways. You can buy it as an individual book, or you can get a discount. If you become a cookbook member, you can get the new cookbook delivered right to your inbox every single month when it becomes available. So I really hope that you'll consider becoming a member and joining our membership, because it is an awesome value. You're going to get a month-long resource in these cookbooks. I'm going to give you recipes like breakfasts, lunches, dinners, snacks, sweets, and staples. If you want to learn more about any of the food that I make, watch any of the videos here on Plant-Based Made Easy. You guys, we've done over 200 videos now and 200 recipes that I've showcased, and so many more within our cookbook. So check out these resources, please. And if you want to talk about and you want to have me answer any of your questions, please type in the comment box. I can see, hi, Mario, you're here. Thank you so much for joining. Mario always has great questions. If you want to know about plant-based eating or living, if you want to know some of the differences and distinctions between the words we use, like veganism, whole food plant-based, and regular plant-based, ask me questions or ask the community questions. We are all here for you. And last thing I want to say, this is new, but I think this is something that I thought was implied that is never implied. You never want to make an assumption about the content that you're creating. So here's what I want to say. These videos in this show is not just for people that are already plant-based or already vegan. This show is for everybody. Anybody that wants to make plants more of a priority on their plate. So here we go, you guys. Let me give you a recipe today that is going to be probably a staple in your repertoire because it's so good. So let's get into it. Smoky jackfruit tacos. So yum. I'm going to use green jackfruit today. Now, this is green jackfruit that I get from Trader Joe's, and I think it's really delicious. You can actually purchase this in a can here in the United States, usually in brine. In brine is awesome. It's going to keep it super moist and delicious. Sometimes you get these also in like air-packed sealed packages that don't have any air in them, so they're packed in nothing. I know Melissa's Produce has them packed like that. Either or will work great. All you want is to make sure that they are, unflavored jackfruit. So there's a lot of jackfruit on the market now that already has barbecue sauce or already has some sort of sauce or seasoning on it. You want this to be plain, okay? Because we're going to season it up. All right, so first things first, let me grab the recipe. I want to showcase this recipe. I'm going to add this to the stream here. And this is Plant-Based Made Easy, the cookbook, you guys. And so if you've never seen it, I want to just introduce you to what this is. Here's our cover page. I write you a little love letter. I give you a recipe key here. It's color coordinated. Here is the month-long menu. We are working right here at Smoky Jackfruit Tacos, second week. And then it goes week by week. And so I just want to get to our recipe and show you kind of like how you can use this as a tool. And we are right here. So you can see it's color coordinated. This is a dinner recipe. That's why it's in yellow. It tells you how much it serves for people or more if you want smaller street tacos. And then the time. Usually my recipes take under 30 minutes for most of the recipes, unless it's something like a baked good, which can sometimes take a little bit longer. But I just really lay it out. I make it very, very simple for you. So this is the recipe we are working with today. Just wanted to show you that. All right, I'm going to come back. Here we go. And I'll do a split screen. All right, so let's get into the cooking. Yeah? Yeah. Hi, Trina. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Wendy. All right, so I'm going to get into it. Take your jackfruit can. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to drain out the brine. I wanted to show you this step. Usually I have this pre-prepped, usually already like drained out in a bowl, but I've done it so many times and then I have a lot of questions. So I want to just show you how easy it is and so that you know it's not so intimidating. Jackfruit might seem intimidating for people, but it's really simple to use. I'm going to put a glove on so that I can actually shred this. Now, I like shredding it with my fingers because it makes it very meaty. Like, let me just grab my garbage can. There we go. All right, so you can see soon as it comes out of the can, it is just packed in this brine, all right? So I'm just going to like literally just pull out these chunks. And I'm just going to use my fingers and start shredding it. So let me show you. This is what, oopsie, there we go. This is what it looks like. Doesn't that look like a hunk of meat? Hunk of meat. Yes, it does. It isn't meat though. It's actually multiple fruit. I learned that back in my days doing the show, My Choice Kitchen on YouTube. That was my first YouTube series that I did. And we talked about the multiple fruit a lot. We talked about jackfruit. It was an awesome way to get kids to start eating more plant-based foods, whole foods. So instead of meat substitutes and things, jackfruit is great because it is a whole food. It is a multiple fruit. So it's a fruit with a lot of multiple pods, and you can see them right in here. Now, you can really kind of use all parts of the jackfruit. A lot of people ask me, can you use these little seed pods that come out? Yes, you can. These soften up, and they work really well in a saute like this. Okay, so we're going to saute this jackfruit up in a nonstick ceramic pan with a little bit of oil. And then I'm going to add a bunch of smoky spices. All right. So the ingredients that we're going to use today include barbecue sauce, a little cumin, a little red pepper flake for heat, and then some smoked paprika, which is going to be the star of our flavor agents, our seasonings today, and really going to be delicious. You can also shred the jackfruit with some forks, but I say, why do it with forks when you have your fingers? Fingers are the best tool that you have in the kitchen, I'm telling you, because you can get actually more precise, I think more kind of like meaty texture by pulling it apart with your fingers, all right? The fork will sometimes, I think, make it too shredded. And I like mine a little bit on the chunkier side. So they're like the big shreds, but it's totally up to you. If you're making this for kids, maybe you want little shreds, the fork would be perfect. 2 forks, you can go right at it, or 1 fork even, that would be fine. Just make sure that it doesn't kind of like mush up the jackfruit. You want it to be shredded, not mushy. Got it? Pretty simple so far, yeah? All right, I'm going to read some questions here. Let's see here. I told you, all right. Trina says, jackfruit scares me, LOL. I think because I see it at the Asian market and it's creepy looking. I have seen it at Trader Joe's. You know, Trina, it is kind of creepy looking. Have you guys ever, besides you, Trina and I, have you guys ever seen a whole jackfruit? It looks like this huge, kind of like space fruit. It's this huge spiky fruit. Kind of looks like a pineapple meets a spiky mango on steroids. So it's like very, very big and spiky. And it does look intimidating, but you can see it's pretty simple. Thank you for that comment. I love it, Trina. Thank you so much. And I love that it makes you laugh because it looks freaky. It does. It looks like crazy, but it isn't. Okay, how do I, this is good. Wendy, why do I buy all my stuff at Trader Joe's? Because it's right near my house. Truly, that's why. And I really like Trader Joe's because it's easy. It's like, there's just what I need. And I've been shopping there for so many years, and it is a less expensive than any other retailer. So I really love Trader Joe's, but the choice is yours. You can shop anywhere. And I want to say thank you to Melissa's Produce, because Melissa's Produce actually provides all of the produce for Plant-Based Made Easy, including the cabbage here we're going to use, including this beautiful pineapple that we're going to use, even jackfruit, like I said. They even provide things like agave syrup, which you can use for this recipe. So lots of great things. All right, I'm going to now cook this up. I'm going to do a full screen, get my induction on a medium high. And I'm going to use oil here. I'm going to use avocado oil. Let me show you right here. This is the color we're looking for. It's that like light, kind of like light and viscous oil, right? It's not as thick and green as the olive oil. Let me show you the difference. Here are my 2 oils. Here is the olive oil. You can see how dark and thick it is. And here's the avocado oil. It is light and it is easy to use, and it's flavorless. All right, coming back. I just want to heat up. Now, this oil needs to get heated for a couple of minutes before I add the jackfruit, because I really want the jackfruit to start to sizzle. All right, so I'm going to use an induction here. I'm using ceramic nonstick. If you want to check out my Amazon storefront, I have all of my stuff, including the induction, including the cutting board, including all of everything that I use in my Amazon store. So in case you need to spruce up your kitchen, these are my favorite products. Fun. It's good to have you. All right, so I'm heating this oil, and now I wanted to say, if you're a whole food plant-based, you can skip the oil, and you can just do a little tiny bit of water in your pan. That would be fantastic, and that would reduce, any oil from this recipe. You can remove the oil and just use water in most recipes, especially if it's for saute. Now, if you're baking, that's a whole different story, because that's a real chemical reaction that occurs with, baked goods. But if you're just sauteing, water is really a perfect substitute if you're whole food plant-based. So what's the difference? Well, plant-based people are people that really prioritize whole plant foods. And then whole food plant-based people are people that don't eat any salt, oil, and sugar in their diet. So they eat everything that a plant-based person would eat, but they've also cut out salt, oil, and sugar. We call those the SOSs. So that is the distinction. And veganism, that's its own other category. And really, it's all of the same family, but vegans can still have a diet that is really full of processed food. And on the other end of the spectrum, maybe the positive end of the spectrum, veganisms, vegan people can also eat a whole food plant-based diet, but they may call themselves vegan instead of plant-based because they're really vegan for animal welfare or, the health of our planet, or they might not purchase any leather or silk. So they're really kind of like good consumers and try to be vegan in their entire lifestyle. So lots of different ways to claim your own identity in terms of how you eat, but these are the distinctions. I hope that's helpful. All right, and Mana's here. Hi, Mana, it's good to have you. All right, so I can tell that my oil is nice and warm. I'm coming back. I'm gonna add my jackfruit. And we can season it up right away, all right? So you can see this looks meaty. From where you're looking, this looks like, some pulled pork or pulled chicken. Does it not? Come on, Mana. Does this not look like pulled pork or pulled chicken? You guys, it totally does. I'm telling you. And I'm telling you, it tastes like it too. It's funny because animal protein truly doesn't really have a lot of flavor. The flavor from animal protein comes from the spice agents and the flavor agents and the seasonings and all of the sauces we add to it. So we can actually make this just as flavorful. So I'm going to come back and I'm going to add some ingredients. First is cumin, all right? This is a warming ingredient, really nice. Throw that right in. The next thing I'm going to add is a little bit of red pepper flake. This is just for a little tiny bit of heat, just a pinch. Throw that right in. I'm also going to use a little smoked paprika. You guys, now this is how it makes this dish very smoky. Smoked paprika is really nice. I like it because it kind of just is going to give you a really full, smoky kind of flavor. It's going to be really fantastic. You can use regular paprika too. If that's all you have, that would be fine. Now, if you wanted, you could actually add a sauteed red onion inside this mix. I'm going to just do a quick a jackfruit taco today, so I'm not going to use any onion, but I am going to use a little garlic. So I will prepare that now. So I have 2 cloves of garlic. Let me clear the decks. And I just want to take my chef's knife and give it a good whack. And then when you do it, when you give it a good whack, you can kind of like literally kind of pull the skin or the peel right off. Look at how simple that is, right? Done. Now, I'm going to run this into my garlic press, but you can actually just put it in over your chef's knife, run your chef's knife through it and actually mince it up. Oops, it got stuck in the wrong hole. There we go. But I like my garlic press, especially for super simple like this. And I'm going to find a hot spot in my pan. Really important to do this. You don't want to just add raw garlic right to the jackfruit because it probably won't caramelize, but find a hot spot or make a hot spot and then add your minced garlic right here and just let it cook up for a second, right? This garlic is really green. We're in the middle of spring right now, so it's really green and it's going to give you that kind of very sharp flavor. So I really want to make sure to kind of cook it down. And I'm going to use every part of my garlic press. The cool thing about the garlic press now is that they usually will have some sort of like tool where you can actually grab all the bits and nooks and crannies out of the holes and use every single part of the smashed garlic. This one's easy. All right, cool. And already I can smell it. Oh my gosh, it's really, the garlic smells delicious when it gets nice and hits the heat and it gets nice and kind of crispy. You see it happening right here in the center? Totally. This is gonna be really good. Okay, now I'm gonna mix everything in together. Oh my gosh, seriously, the smell is fantastic. It smells like caramelized garlic. It smells like pulled jackfruit, smoky paprika, everything. It's already delicious. But if that weren't enough, let's add another ingredient. Now, I'm going to add barbecue sauce, about 3/4 cup or so. You can use any barbecue sauce that you want, or you can make your own. 1, 2, 3. I'm eyeballing it, okay? And then I want to just add the smokiness, kick it up just a little bit more. So I'm going to add some liquid smoke. Now, this liquid smoke is naturally made. It's hickory liquid smoke. It's so good. I'm going to add this. Just a couple splashes, 1, 2. It's very strong, so you only need a little bit. And then some sweetness. Now, just a splash. I'm going to use maple syrup, but you could use agave nectar. That would also be fantastic. Okay, yum. I've got a little maple syrup on me. All right, so let me just cook this down with the barbecue, maple, and the liquid smoke. Now, you could stop right here. You could turn this into a pulled pork sandwich, like a faux pulled pork sandwich. My pulled pork is in air quotes. I'm going to show you. Pulled pork. But I really think that you could also add this to a flatbread pizza. You could also add this to burger buns as like a sloppy Joe kind of pulled meat sandwich, right? You could also just add this to a burrito if you wanted to, a collard green wrap. The choice is yours. There's a lot of options for this delicious jackfruit. Now I'm going to stop right here. I'm just going to show you in the overhead. Look how great this looks, right? Whoo-hoo. My camera's getting a jackfruit facial. All right, coming back. Let's get the rest of the ingredients ready. I need some tortillas, so I'm going to use some corn and flour blend tortillas, which I love, and some green cabbage. So let's start with the green cabbage. I'm just going to shred this, and this is going to be the base. I like using red or green cabbage as the base of any of my tacos to kind of hold in the ingredients. It's kind of like a great bed for your flavor, and it's going to keep the actual tortilla from getting too moist from whatever the filling you're adding is. So you're going to add this first to your tortilla, the green cabbage, then you're going to add the jackfruit. So I'm going to put that to the side here, turn that off. Let me grab a little bowl. Perfect. You could use romaine too. You could even use microgreens, you guys. We've talked a lot about microgreens or sprouts. Any of these things will work. All right. Next, I'm going to add some pineapple. I pre-sliced this pineapple, so I'm just going to grab a few pieces and mince it up. Now, you can actually use whatever you want, radishes, jalapenos, but I wanted something sweet. I thought this would be great. I had the pineapple, so I thought it'd be great with the barbecue flavor and the smokiness. Very fresh, too. So just give this a quick mince. Of course, you could add a tomato salsa or pico de gallo on top, but I like that barbecue pineapple combo. It's great. The recipe actually calls for a garlic yogurt sauce, so go ahead and make that. I'm actually making a batch of yogurt right now, so I didn't have any ready for today's recipe, but in my leftovers, I will have that garlic sauce made, and it's going to be really delicious. So plant-based yogurt on top of this would be fantastic. So this looks great. Add my pineapple to my little bowl. And then cilantro, something herby, all right? And so I love this. I just said it, and then I looked up, and here it is. Cindy's saying you could add spinach too. Yes, you can. I just said add something green. We're on the same wavelength, Cindy Strong. All right, so I'm going to add some cilantro. This is how I hold cilantro. Inside of a water vase or a cup that I have filled with water, and then I put a Ziploc bag over the top. Now, this is going to help this cilantro stay really green for like 6 weeks. I'm telling you, it totally works. So I'm going to grab a little bit of this, and I like to use my kitchen shears. Here we go. And just kind of grab some, snip some off. This is going to be perfect. That's it. You want to change your water of your water cup every few days so that this stays nice and hydrated and green. I'm telling you, it's the trick. All right, so let me just get this ready. We're gonna plate up, you guys, and then I'm gonna taste. Okay, first things first, before I plate up and I actually assemble my taco, I wanna taste my jackfruit. So let me come back to it. I'm gonna grab just a little tasting spoon, and I just wanna make sure, does it have enough of what I want? Now, I'm really tasting for the flavors to come through. If it doesn't come through, I can add a little salt or a little pepper. The choice is yours, but I'm just gonna make sure. It's so good. No, the barbecue sauce is great. I like the liquid smoke in this. The maple syrup's nice. You know what? I do think I want just a tiny bit of salt. Just a tiny bit. This is going to make it just perk up. Now, if you're whole food plant-based, your favorite salt substitute would be fantastic. Okay. Done. Done and done. My microphone. Sorry about that. Done and done. Let's see. Yes. All right. Here, Christy says, once I let her know that she could use artichokes as a replacement for jackfruit, that would be great. You could use artichokes packed in water or brine in the can, just like this. But instead of actually shredding the artichokes, because it won't shred in the same way, you would want to use a chef's knife, and you would actually want to like make shredded bits. Okay. So that would be really great. The other great ingredient as a replacement for either artichoke or jackfruit, if you don't like or can't find either one of those, how about hearts of palm? Hearts of palm would be another great substitute. Yeah, and Kai says, great tip on keeping the cilantro fresh. I use it fast by putting it in smoothies. Oh yeah, you can absolutely put it in smoothies. It's great for your gut microbiome. Good idea. I love that. All right, it's time to plate. So I'm going to grab a tortilla here, and I'm going to show you and build it with you. I'm going to now add a little bit of the green cabbage to the base. Again, this is just to hold the ingredients, so it has a little bed to sit on. Next, I'm going to use my spoon, and I'm just going to like pile high this tortilla with the shredded jackfruit. Yum. Okay, looks great. Like I said, this serves about 4, but truthfully, you can actually serve a lot more people if you're making these tacos teeny tiny. So choice is yours. Some pineapple right on top, because why not? And then last but not least, some cilantro. You guys, seriously, obviously avocado would be fantastic if you have it, but right now this is what we're working with, smoky jackfruit tacos. I want you guys to see it in full effect. Yum, right? This looks really good, so good that I think I'm gonna take a bite, but before I do, I wanna give this food a little gratitude. Thank you, food. Thank you, God. Here we go. Cheers. Mm. Oh, man. Mm. Oh, man. Excuse me. I'm sorry, I had to. That's so good. I took 2 bites. Yum. Everything about this is working. I love the barbecue sauce. I love the liquid smoke added too, because it just emphasized that smoky quality. I'm telling you, that pineapple right on top, it's really nice. Gives it a nice sweet kiss. You guys, I really hope that you enjoy this recipe, and I hope that you'll come back for more. Please support this show, Plant-Based Made Easy, by purchasing a cookbook or 2 or 3 or 4, or becoming a cookbook member. You can also give these as gifts. They're great gifts for anyone in your life that's trying to be a little healthier. Thank you again, you guys. Please follow me on Instagram at Chef D Malfi, and I hope to see you next week for more recipes. Until then, peace out. Bye, guys.